Fair enough.
Yeah, he's old. It's no country for old men,
No country
Exactly.
for old men. But Cruise is
Isn't that what they say in the movie?
Cruise is disproving that with every passing film until
Yeah,
he
there is.
finally
Yeah,
passes away, I
Cruise
guess.
is
his country.
62 years old. That
Yeah.
is insane to me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
I
old. That's how old Peter Sellers was when he did Being There.
interesting. That's 2 years younger than Modi ji was when he became Prime Minister.
Light the fuse.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Queen is Dead. As you have probably realized, because Dhruv will hopefully have edited this to do the mask effect or whatever
Nah,
properly.
he's not.
It seems we have a problem, Dimitri.
You keep calling me Dimitri. You really shouldn't.
You are not Dimitri.
It's not gonna. We're gonna keep saying it. I'll keep.
Yeah, we'll
bringing
keep
back
hoping.
We will keep bringing that
It's
back
like
in.
it's like one takes. You know why people do one takes is because so that they don't have no choices, so
Yeah.
that no one can tell no to them, right?
So,
So,
as
this
you
is
can
the
tell
bit.
from 3 voices and 1 laugh, none of us are Dhruv Krishna Goyal or Sanjeet Singh. I mean, Sanjeet is now a concept, really.
Yeah, Sanjeet
Mythical.
is now basically like the concept.
All
He's
around us,
he's like the
yeah.
4-dimensional library in Interstellar.
Yeah.
Exist
So,
nahi karta hai.
he exists in The Big Nowhere, which is a book that's kept on that shelf, I remember.
Yeah.
Wow,
So it's a book I
man.
really enjoy as well by James
Yeah,
L.
that's
Roy.
a deep cut
Um,
reference. Actually, not a deep cut. It's a very popular book. Very, very.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
it's a
very
very
popular.
popular book. I'm like,
Very
deep cut
popular.
kahan se ho gaya?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
don't know. Like,
this is the first part of 3 that we're doing at Queen is Dead on the Mission Impossible films. The 8th of which releases on the 17th of May in India, and on various other dates in the week thereafter across the world.
Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
I am Varun. I have with me Cris, Hemant, and Dr. Amartya.
वाह वाह वाह. नाम के
Oh.
पीछे डॉक्टर दे.
पीछे नहीं, sir,
Nobel
आगे.
laureate Amartya Sen.
No, we are the poorer Amartya. It's like
Yeah, I am very poor in that regard. Yeah, yeah.
Economists don't make much money, right?
Yeah. We
They just talk
nor
about
do
money.
engineers. It's like we
not
have
neither do engineers.
Mom, I want to take Amartya Sen home. We have Dr. Amartya at home.
Yeah, we don't make that much money either.
So we're here to talk about the first 3 Mission Impossible films, which are Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 2, and Mission Impossible 3. And after that, they start to get creative with the titles. God bless them. Or no, I don't think God comes into the picture with Scientology and everything.
No, he is the angel, right? Or-
Hubbard,
No,
Hubbard.
it's like an
Ron
electron or
Hubbard.
something, right? It's not
Ron
even. It's
Hubbard
not even a
blessed them.
thingy. Like Hubbard told them, it's like an electron or something of that sort. It's not even a god or anything. वो सब तो नहीं है.
I mean, at this point, if
Is the
Scientology were to
universe
accept
trillions and trillions of years old.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
At this point, the Scientologists should just sort of accept Cruise as their god and be fine with it. So yeah, it's
The only thing that's playing in my head is Philip Seymour Hoffman singing to Joaquin Phoenix in The Master.
lovely. We are Paul Thomas Anderson.
Off
Please
to the
direct
races.
Mission Impossible 9 if you're interested. That would be a very fascinating film
He
to
is
watch.
he is making a somewhat.
He's making a
one-note
pinch on
against the
novel. I
system.
think that is the closest it is going to come to a weird
The
ass part.
convolution, yes, yeah.
Yes,
How
yes.
But there's not the
I
first
tried showing
Mission.
Inherent Vice to my wife, by the way.
Oh
and she
boy,
was just
you
like,
need to
she's
watch
like
that
the-
high.
What is going on? I was like, first, okay, let's try reading the book.
Yeah. So
And
you're
then one
reading you're
excerpt
making
from
her
it.
do homework every night.
Yeah.
She's like, this is not what I imagine marriage will be like.
I'm
yeah, it is,
certain.
yeah, it's literature review,
Hemant,
yeah,
your
that's all it is,
Hemant, your
actually.
wife really loves you, man.
Yeah,
You
otherwise
are
she would have
asking
left
her
you
to
by
read
now.
a
Lucky.
pinch on novel means she
I'm
really
very
loves
lucky.
you.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
That's why I made
extremely
curry
lucky.
today. That's why I made Punjabi curry.
Punjabi curry. What other kind of curry is there?
No, what? Oh my God!
Like
there's
Sindhi
Rajasthan
curry, but
there is
nobody cares about the
curry
Sindhis.
and-
Anyway,
Guys, Mission Impossible, not Mission
yeah,
Curry.
speaking.
Modi Zindabad.
No, look, shush. They're looking for. Everyone's looking for you. Everyone I know, they're looking for.
I just looked it up. Okay, you're on Interpol's most wanted list, and that, by the way, is a spectacular list to be on. Whatever happened, I'm sorry, but I'm hanging up right now.
Hemant and I am safe. Hemant might get arrested by ICE while we do this podcast. So, fortunately, we are recording, so Cris is very active on Twitter. In case Hemant does get arrested, we'll be able to tell Aarti who took him, if not where he was taken. But yeah, Mission Impossible. I think it's a good place to start. Would be thoughts on like maybe the trailer of The Final Reckoning, which is being billed as like this final bow for Tom Cruise's character.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
I don't buy that because it's usually a very good.
I am mildly skeptical about this movie in general.
No, it's not even a final bow. I mean, they're literally on the Wikipedia page, right underneath where they say that it was built as a final film, it's written that Tom Cruise, after watching the last Indiana Jones film, wants to continue doing this series into his 70s and 80s. So I'm like, sure, Final Reckoning will.
He'll die on a
Some
possible set.
I'm a bit skeptical about this movie for a very simple reason. We have already seen what happens when one movie tries to connect with all disparate movies of this franchisee, and that movie is Spectre.
Spectre, yeah.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah. Also, they ditched a very good song to go for a very weird song.
Radiohead did a number. Right,
oh man, that's so much better. Yeah. Instead of the I like Sam Smith, love Sam Smith, but
Writing on the Wall is crap.
Writing
on the Wall is number one crap. Number two, that song ka visualization look like a xenomorph ka compound is basically.
No, it looked like the Pensy from Harry Potter. Actually, that's exactly what it looked like.
I would have thought that's more the Skyfall opening credits, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
right.
fair.
Yes. Yeah.
Once he falls into the river in Istanbul.
No, but again, that Spectre problem, it is very possible that this is going to plague this movie, and also
I think it already plagued Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah, it did.
It was a full-on callback, yeah.
And also
I
the
think
fact
that's what they try to wrap it up and try to give something new in the second one is what I was thinking. At least
and
expecting.
also the fact that there is an artificial intelligence in this, and I'm like, Ethan Hunt can punch an artificial intelligence unless you give it shape.
I have a very
unless you make it like a
T-1000.
Unless you make it like a T-1000.
Somebody. So I've been trawling the Mission Impossible subreddit for a few days because I want to score tickets to the premiere, which is on the 14th or the 15th. I'm a sucker for free movies. So somebody
sponsor
was
our
like,
podcast. AMC sponsor our podcast.
AMC, Odeon, Cineworld, Prince Charles Cinema, anybody who's
United Artists
inputting money, Artists Equity, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon if you're listening. Anyway, so I think
they are not going to do anything.
They're busy rolling in the money the accountant's making.
Yeah.
So I think somebody said it would be hilarious if Ving Rhames is the villain. I was like, people will finish Christopher McQuarrie off if Ving Rhames turns out to be the author of all his pain.
I have a good segue into the first movie just by this sentence alone.
But we don't need to segue. Yeah. I just want to know, like, are you guys excited? Are you hyped? Because I was excited for Fallout, but because that didn't meet my expectations when I first watched it, and I will reserve my opinion on it for when we record. I was kind of iffy on Dead Reckoning. I enjoyed it a lot, but like you can take a good 30 minutes out of that movie and it won't suffer.
Oh, yeah.
No, Dead Reckoning is basically McQuarrie trying to be De Palma. I'm like I understand.
There's more to De Palma than Dutch angles.
Yeah. No, but that's what he's trying to do.
There's a whole that's what he's trying there to do. That McQuarrie doesn't have in him to unlock.
Yeah.
That sleaze is uniquely De Palma.
Well,
that sleaze is like his connection to Hitchcock, basically.
Well, I think it's more for him. It's observational. He wants to really observe people. The thing is that the most of the time, your theme matters a lot, and what you're showing really matters a lot when you're that observational. Yeah. And he chooses to just look at sleazy things.
Yeah, and like Sisters. If anybody hasn't seen De Palma's Sisters, oof. Damn.
Do you want to rip off that band-aid?
No. I am just putting the name on the movie on.
Yeah. I think, but there is a lot to learn from, I think, Dead Reckoning Part 1's problems is that they first killed off a character and they introduced a new character all in one movie. Which usually is very difficult, and I've never seen it work ever in any series.
Replacement is what I would say as well.
If they're given more time, maybe,
Atwell, but
yeah, like she, I mean, the thing is that it's almost like, Yeah, it's like you need. I mean, dude, Rebecca Ferguson was the best part of the last three movies. Like
Yeah.
she kind of carried he Tom Cruise really didn't have that emotional center to him anymore, and they
Yeah.
needed someone to be the straight man in front of him. I think that's one of the reasons why, because he's become this immortal, untouchable thing. So you can't really
I think the
feel
emotional
danger for
centers
him.
around Cruise's entire personality in these last few movies, the Cruise and Macquarie partnership, the
Yeah.
emotional centers or emotional perspective all center around who is surrounding him, right?
Yes.
One of the
Yes.
reasons I loved Fallout is Macquarie intentionally wraps up Mission Impossible 3 Ghost Protocol's emotional connection to Fallout. He basically wraps up that marriage arc.
Yeah.
And he
Right.
does
Yeah.
it in the finale, and I really like that. I like how he
Yeah.
does it. And through that, he also reintroduces that Ferguson and Cruz's relationship again, which I'm like, good one there. Which is why these first three movies are very interesting because they are like we are given a window into Hunt,
Yeah.
Right.
which we don't get anymore after a point. Like the fourth, like I think fourth movie is the last one where we actually understand who Ethan Hunt is. Fifth
I
ke
mean
baad to
the
we are like, oh, he's going to jump off a building.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going
but
to hang
I
off a
mean
plane.
I mean that's going to
Go
be the
into
recurring issue with those films, right? That
Yeah.
at some point they are trying to tap into this emotional element when it's very clear nothing's going to happen to him. The stakes don't exist. But Chris, go ahead. Thoughts on like
No, the again,
Final
I
Reckoning
was
trailer
thinking
and
about
stuff like
what
that.
Hemant was saying about the Haley Atwell thing, and I had that too. Like Dead Reckoning, I think was the only film when I rewatched I liked less than the first time I watched it, and I quite liked Dead Reckoning the first time I saw it, and it's very much that like you said, I think the value of the emotional value of it all comes from what is that particular rarity is also the dynamics that
Yeah.
the characters have, and the female characters have had if you see minus Rebecca Ferguson, there's a generally a directionality to the dynamic with the female characters that have existed throughout the film, which sort of Ferguson flips, which is what
Yes.
really sold her. And then to have her, be that invested in her across three films, and then just to kill her off and then try to establish Atwell that in such a short amount of time, and then also try to make her on equal footing as Ethan while also making her kind of like, oh, you have to turn up sort of thing.
Yeah,
It
they don't
just
sell it that
doesn't
well.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
they
just
don't sell it well at all. Yeah.
She's not. I mean, I think Rebecca Ferguson had a very good script to start with
Rogue Nation.
Rogue
Rogue
Nation,
Nation.
uh, because there was, I mean, or at least just her character did. I would not say the whole movie. I have problems with that movie, but she at least has problems to solve, and in the same footing as Ethan. So when both of them are solving it together, it makes more sense. In this kind of, she was kind of pushed into the thing. She was
Shafted.
only saw.
It's
She
basically
was yeah,
shafted.
shafted.
She was
Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
shafted, yeah.
I think
yeah,
also
and
sorry, Hemant.
yeah, and she had only one sequence to prove it because of the length of the movie, and they had other things that they wanted to say about them, say in that movie, which kind of muddled her act. When you said that like there could be 30 minutes removed, those 30 minutes could be repurposed definitely,
30
because
minutes removed as in they're just like it's just padding.
it's just yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
It's
location
also a
fluff.
lot.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at that conference right in Dead Reckoning right at the beginning,
yeah,
and we don't mean to go on about this. We will cut it short on Dead Reckoning. We are
yeah.
basically all of us speaking to Dhruv and to each other. Basically,
Yeah,
Dhruv is
at
the
the same
Dhruv is the
time.
entity in this
This is
podcast.
it's
He is, yeah.
it's
He
like
is.
rope, like the audience is now just figuring out it with us.
Hey, don't
How
don't
to
don't don't
I'm
say
glad
hide
you
the
Hitchcock.
brought
fact
the
that Dhruv
I'm
isn't here.
glad you brought the Hitchcock angle into
Don't
this
say
because
Hitchcock. Don't mention Hitchcock a second time. It'll trigger me. Don't you know? So I think my issue with like something like what these movies are doing is they are trying to really force it upon you that these films are emotional and these films are this and these films are that. A film that Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie worked on that actually landed the emotional beats
I think I know where
perfectly
you're going with this.
was
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. I don't even like Top Gun. I think Top Gun is just a
I think very few people actually do.
very good
Yeah, same.
No,
US
come on, there's a
Navy
lot.
advertisement.
Sir,
But
it's a
Top Gun
is
it's a
there. Top
US
Gun
it's a
Maverick.
US
propaganda.
staple. Sir, it's a US staple. I understand. Doesn't mean that it's a good movie.
Oh man, come
yeah,
on, like the first one is pretty good, except
it's
for
not.
the like
I
weird
think
mission. Like I
I,
don't know,
I,
like
I think for me that moment when Iceman dies
Oh
is
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Also,
yeah.
rest in peace,
because
Val Kilmer.
Val
Yeah,
Kilmer,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
right?
and real life too.
And
Yeah.
the inability to speak in those last few years of his life, but they
Yeah.
managed to give him a lovely send off in that film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and him hammering the pin into the casket,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just I think when I wrote about Maverick, I said the Maverick saves the Navy, and Cruise saves Hollywood. That is essentially the film.
Hmm.
But the thing is that the beats of that movie land.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, aka Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
Also, another Cruise and McQuarrie collaboration, I think, is Valkyrie.
Also, Jack Reacher.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, 1 second. That's more of a writer and
Yeah, that's more a
Yeah,
writer,
yeah.
producer, and a
writer,
producer.
producer,
actor.
and
Yeah,
actor,
but
yeah.
McQuarrie is heavily involved in that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
Jack Reacher
okay.
too. I mean, he's technically involved in Ghost Protocol also.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol.
As
Also,
the-
yeah.
Yeah,
as
I
the
think that was the
ghostwriter.
starting point for their relationship is because of the rewrites that he provided for Ghost
Provided, yeah.
Protocol.
Ghost Protocol. Yeah.
Even though visually, like Brad Bird's inventiveness from animation really translates well to
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so
But,
disappointed that his next follow-up was Tomorrowland, which is yeah, that was a shocker. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
let's move
Yeah,
on. Let's
yeah.
actually jump into Mission Impossible, which is I think the interesting element about this film is it goes to a pretty prestigious director for a film that opens a 60s TV show remake franchise.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. Should you or any member of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. Ethan Hunt will be your point man as usual. Good luck, Jim.
Brian De
Right.
Palma
I mean,
is a
as
pretty
much as
big
I know,
name.
as much
in
as
his
I
own
know,
right.
Cruise basically was a huge fan of the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when he started his own production company with Paula Wagner, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So he was the one who wanted like Mission Impossible to be the flagship bearer first movie of their production company, and he wanted it to be given to a prestigious director, and to the extent that he saw all of De Palma's filmography before
Right.
going to De Palma and trying to convince him to
Convince
actually,
him that.
yeah. And I'm
And
like,
it's
that's
I mean
dedication.
it's not just De Palma, it's also David Koepp and Robert Townsend's
Yeah.
screenplay.
yeah. I think it was
By the way,
the script that he was trying to take to De Palma because he was very impressed by how they had actually. I mean, he was very much into the '60s show, and that's the story
Yeah.
goes that he's a huge fan of '50s and '60s TV shows, and he wanted to bring back that allure of the
Right.
or the escapism of that time, and
Also,
that's
like,
why Mission Impossible was the way it is.
presumably Mission Impossible got greenlit when GoldenEye was still in limbo. So they couldn't have foreseen that Bond will come back. So
Yeah.
you can understand even the business motivations of
Yes, yeah,
wanting to
that
bring
seems like a
in-
void that he's trying to fill.
yeah, that nobody gives a fuck about Bond anymore. He's been dead for
Yeah,
years.
oh,
I
yeah.
mean, to be fair, License to Kill wasn't exactly the most successful one.
It's a
And
brutally beautiful film though. Robert Davi is excellent.
yeah.
Tim Dalton.
I really like that movie. Though people say it's like a Miami Vice ripoff, but I'm like, no, still
properly
doesn't matter.
violent film. I love it.
Yeah,
It's
very violent movie.
on
Like,
fire
love that
at the
movie.
end.
Love that movie. But anyway, point
yeah.
being that also, if I'm not mistaken, like David Koepp's script wasn't exactly being
Robert
like,
Town was brought in. To
Robert
punch
Town
up.
was brought in to
But
rewrite
Robert
rewrite the
Town
script.
is essentially the previous generation's Christopher McQuarrie. He's the best script doctor in town.
Yeah.
He's also a man known for one great script and then known for a bunch of other very middling stuff. So in
सर वो
both
तो
their
सभी
cases-
सर वो तो बहुत लोग हैं सर
in
वो तो
Robert
बहुत
Town's
लोग
case,
हैं
the great script is Chinatown,
Yeah.
which was directed by Roman
okay,
Polanski.
yeah.
In McQuarrie's case, it's The Usual Suspects, which was directed by Bryan Singer.
Brian Singer.
Both of them
Interesting. Both those great skips are directed by awful directors.
Awful people.
Awful people.
People.
Yeah, awful people. Yeah.
Well, it
I
might
mean,
be
by-
that the mid-level budget, mid-millions budget usually goes to awful
So,
people who
if
are
you
like,
if you go by Sam Watson's account of Chinatown, Robert Town wasn't a great guy either.
Yeah. No, he
So
wasn't.
if Macquarie is the only one left standing at the end of that, or McHugh as
McHugh.
uh,
I think there
Bruce
are
calls him.
quite a lot of good script doctors currently working, like who
They-
are
they-
like unsung
Amy Chazelle used to
heroes,
be
like
a script doctor for a while. Even
like
after
Maku-
Whiplash.
like Macquarie, then Scott Frank, who
Yeah.
made the Queen's Gambit and all those.
And
He's one of the big
Godless.
script doctors. Then we have Tony Gilroy.
Yeah. Who also comes in to save crap films and makes them even worse.
Then
which one did he make worse? Like,
I think
The woman
Bondley.
in the window.
The Woman in the Window. I think that's
okay.
more. I think that's more of a
Oh,
that
okay.
movie was doomed from the start. कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे उसके बारे में after point.
That's such a. I'm going to watch a Joe Wright movie tomorrow, so I'm really not supposed.
which? Oh wait, once are you watching?
I'm over Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, okay. The man who would be king, the boy who would be king, is that Joe, right?
No, that's not Joe Wright.
That's not Joe, right? That's some other Joe. Sorry, my bad.
That's the guy
Cut
who
that out.
made that. That's the guy who made John Boyega's debut
I'm not.
feature.
You can see. I'm not taking any edit notes. I'm leaving this to Dhruv. Listen to all of it.
Oh,
But no,
man.
with regards,
Wow.
I was recounting as much as I remember the quote unquote history of it all, because there is not much of a history here anyway. It's like people talked, people understood, the movie production was hell, people were making it up on the go, and then the movie
Yeah.
happened. That's more or less what it
It's also
basically
a
becomes.
pretty solid cast if you think about it. So there's of course Cruise headlining, John Voight, Kristen Scott Thomas right after or just before The English Patient.
Emilio Estevez,
After what?
Young Guns.
Okay.
Young
Oh,
Guns.
yeah, okay. Oh,
And
that came around the same time, yeah.
Yeah,
Jean
Young
Reno
Guns
just before Leon.
Leon the Professional.
Wing Rames just after. No, that was
Ving Rhames
Pulp
just
Fiction?
after he got the Emmy. No, Ving Rhames just after he got the Emmy for that, that mini series.
Okay.
Oh, Angels in America?
Yeah,
No.
I think so. For which, no, not Angels in America, the other one. And he got the Emmy and he gave it to Jack Lemmon in the award, basically. Like,
nice.
as a token of respect. The Emmy people had to
Damn.
remake that. Emmy people had to make another Emmy for him.
So
And then-
they made lots of money on the telecast. So
yeah.
Chris is just looking at right now. Chris is being very silent and just looking at three really old people, all born in the 90s, talking about very 90s.
I have no,
stuff.
I'm so sure you have no idea what Young Guns
He's like, what is Brian and why is his name De Palma? What is in his palm?
I know Brian De Palma.
Whoa,
Brian
whoa.
De Palma's
That
name
seems
is
a bit of a, come on, like, come
Yeah,
on,
that
like
is
that.
too much of a
very
reach.
anti-young people
Yeah.
thing to say.
Please, he made what is that film called? Dress to Kill, which is like
Dress
a
to
big
Kill.
like
Yeah, Dress to Kill.
like
Yeah,
a
Dress to Kill. Yeah.
famous in like the trans spaces.
Yeah,
becoming
yeah.
one very interesting
Anything,
film. So
anything to do with sex, De Palma has touched.
Exactly.
That's why his name
All
is De
touched.
Palma.
He wanted to be
He
the
uses his
he
palma,
wanted to be the
what the
edgy and
hell?
sleazy. He wanted to be the edgier and sleazier version of Hitchcock. That's exactly what he wanted to be.
And
Well, he wanted to be new age, is what they say.
New
This
age,
was
yeah,
yes.
he
new
was
wave, yeah.
he was among
Yeah.
the Brat
was-
Pack, as
Yeah.
they were called.
Yeah.
So Scorsese and Coppola and
I mean,
Lucas.
on all of their references are all either modern, neo-modern Italian cinema or the French New Wave. So
I think
Yeah.
you meant Italian neorealism, but okay.
neo-realism, sorry.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, yeah.
Modernism? What does that mean? Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
was
wait, what is
like,
that?
Which Look at Antonio. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Satyajit Rossellini is losing his mind. So, which could just as well
But
be the
that's
name.
such
Which
a
could just
good
as
one.
well be the name of like Roberto Rossellini is a child with that Bengali
No.
lady he married.
Can I just
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Dude, that's like, wow.
You wanted a deep cut, Hemant. There you
That
go.
is very
That is
deep cut.
way that is
Respect,
not
yeah,
even
that's-
deep gut.
You
That
know,
is
Roberto, because of that,
excavated
So
cut.
it is the story goes that
because of that affair of Roberto Rossellini's, Nehru had to tell him to leave the country. Like, imagine being told by a womanizer that, look, your womanizing has led to me asking you to leave my country. Please go home.
Now,
Not a
we get back
womanizer.
on track, please?
We're not insulting Pandit Nehru. Big fans. No,
big
Modi
fans.
ji, that's a lie. I'm not a
Big
big fan.
fans.
I am really not a fan of Nehru. I think De Palma really shines through in the film in not a very good way in some instances. Like, you
Why
can
so?
tell that the what's her name? Emmanuel.
Brecht, something.
That's Bertolt.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sir, this was supposed to be
Man.
serious. This was supposed to be
Yeah,
no gags. We'll barely start. We can actually still call Aryan at this point, you know.
Yeah, he must be done with laundry.
Even I made that joke.
Yeah. It's a call to Kitty
Aryan Vyas as Kitty Oppenheimer. So, Emmanuel Beert, or whatever, however French people pronounce it. Screw the French.
Yeah.
मेरे को visa नहीं दिया. So
She's
Wow,
from
okay.
Montreal.
First of
She's not even French.
hey, we love the French big
French
fans.
Canadian.
She's French Canadian. She's not even French.
fuck
Yeah.
the Canadians also. Okay.
Wait, one second. She's born in France, but she's French. She's not Canadian.
Fuck both of those countries.
Man, what?
and fuck America, most importantly. Anyway, so
Hey, I'm sitting here. This is a good.
so it's already
place.
fucked. Is that?
That's why it always
I'm sitting here, so yeah.
Yeah. So I think when her and Ethan get together again after the whole shootout and everything, there is, like, it's alluded to that they've slept together, and De Palma has this way of
That
sleazily-
though in the beginning also. right?
Yeah. With the
Yeah.
आंखों से कुछ करता है De Palma. Like, with the camera only, he directs with such sleaze.
Rephrase that again one more time.
आंखों से he does something with his eye.
Yeah.
Why?
उसकी नजर में ही खोट है.
Whoa, he's
हरक उसके नजर में ही है.
Harak is
कैमरा
a
तो-
very mild word to describe De Palma. So I feel
pervision. It's called instead of perversion. Okay, sorry. I'm done. Cut this out through.
cut this out through his cut himself at this point.
And
you know?
evil at this. Oh man, he's don't look now. he's the son now.
Yeah, so it's that I find that, okay, you let yourself out of the closet through which you were peeping at this couple for the longest time, like a voyeur, which is De Palma generally.
And it's like the Dutch angle, like when he's angrily like confronting what's the name of the character, like
Claire.
Claire.
when he's confronting Claire and pushes
That's
her
a
on the bed.
basic French name.
Yeah,
Claire is
very-
the French equivalent of Raju.
Yeah, basically. No, but when he pushes her on the bed, right, you see there's also a Dutch angle. I'm like, that is like such a keyhole peeping
But you know,
angle.
so the Dutch angle thing I realized was that he frames Ethan straight because Ethan's intentions we always know.
Yeah.
Very formally mid-close or close, whatever. But the other person, regardless of who they are, except I think Luther, is always framed with a Dutch angle.
Yeah.
It's a very sort of until you find out who is who.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is what I wanted to come back to, because this is what I was talking before we started recording. I was telling this to Cris and Dhruv. If we like join all the runtime of the entire TV series and the sequel TV series and everything,
yeah.
protagonist Jim Phelps, who is played by Peter Graves, is ostensibly the lead protagonist of Mission Impossible. Then in the movie, we see that Jim Phelps is killed within the first 10 minutes. So then we learned that he's alive towards the end, only to learn that he's the villain. I'm just saying, if Mission Impossible 1 was actually released in 2017, it would have been lambasted by fans of the TV show.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but that's always the sort of risk you're running. It's why Guy Ritchie sort of turned Uncle on its head, right? He
Yeah,
made
yeah,
an
fully.
origin story film.
To the extent, if I'm not mistaken,
Also great, we were discussing this, great part 1 that did not get a sequel.
That
is
did not
the
get a
Man from
sequel.
Mars.
Also, another thing is that Peter Graves, who played the original James Phelps, he was actually supposed to reprise his role in the movie.
Until he
He
learned
did
that it
it.
was the villain.
Yeah, until he learned that he was the villain, and he's like, nope. And when he walked out, all the rest of the original cast also walked out.
Yeah,
They
and
were supposed to reprise.
Yeah, they've never sort of appeared on the films again. Hemant has gone, guys, to put on his mask. He'll come back dressed as Simon Pegg. But yeah, Chris, you're the Gen Z person who's sort of gotten acquainted, I'm sure, with Mission Impossible in your childhood with English TV channels.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was that only. I think for me, I was like ambiently aware of it, having seen the first three films in bits and parts on whatever English TV channel whenever like my brother was watching it.
First three, I would have thought you would have like all people born after 97. Your introduction would have been part 4 on Star
Yeah. So
movies.
that is what I'm saying. So first three
Right.
was like that, and then the fourth one was like this big event.
Proper movie kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Fourth
Maybe
one,
it
to
would
be
have-
very honest with you, fourth one was a big event for us also.
Yeah.
Us
Jackass.
also, basically. Yeah.
No, so I think for us, like, I think my my brother or someone had downloaded a copy of the fourth one to my PC, and I just I watched that film
This
like
is
an
Queen is
insane
dead,
number
not
of
pirates are dead.
says you say this with Amartya and the call show.
Yeah, I'm like, किसको कह रहे हो ये?
I have watched that.
but-
That was my like comfort
Yeah,
film growing up. So that is where it all started.
What
So,
Ghost
yeah.
Protocol was your comfort film growing up?
Yeah, Ghost Protocol, Casino Royale, and Ladies versus Ricky Bell were my top.
ये क्या
Man, what did I
combination
walk-
है?
what the-
You know, the silly thing is that between them, Daniel Craig is the odd one out. Because
Yeah,
he's the one with the
basically.
short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Dhruv, you made a new enemy today, haven't you? So Ladies versus Ricky Bell. What the fuck?
Man.
So I find it interesting. Ghost Protocol was also my introduction to the films because everybody was like going crazy about it, right? In 2011, which is when it came out. Like Ghost Protocol, you know, Anil Kapoor is in it. As if it mattered. Anil Kapoor was at that
Anil
time
Kapoor
appearing in
कौन
no
है?
problem. Okay, he was in no problem with Sanjay Dutt and Akshay Khanna, directed by Anis Bazmi. He was not doing
Ghost
good
Protocol.
movies.
Ghost Protocol, I remember, was the trailer, and in the trailer was that Eminem song with Pink.
Sir, I know only one Eminem song. That's
Love the way you die. Lies
No,
or
no,
not
that
die.
is Rihanna. What
That's
the
Rihanna,
fuck?
my bad.
Love the way you die.
Love the
Thank you. This is now
I
Dhruv.
was just
Dhruv
trying
has
to make
appeared.
a pun.
Dhruv has appeared wearing
It
a
was rock
Hemant
artist.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really aged myself there.
Yeah. No, I remember that trailer. And obviously, my introduction to Mission Impossible was, which is one of the reasons why I loved that movie. I used to love that movie, was MI2. My introduction to Mission Impossible was that movie.
Was the most Bollywood Mission
Yep.
Impossible film.
Which is
Yeah,
why I
Sure,
love it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
who loves
back-
it?
I
do.
did.
People love
I
it.
did.
I do.
Once
That's a
upon time,
beloved
I
one.
did.
Yeah, I
I
really
did.
think that's a beloved one. Yeah.
You people
Yeah.
are fundamentally insane.
No, people love
That
those
is true,
shit.
but
People
this
love
movie is
the,
also
people love
good.
the dove. People love the dove shit. People love those
No,
bikes.
there are
bikes
also-
Dude,
there
that
are
dove,
two
that
reasons.
dove,
It's not just as
that
simple
dove
as that, really.
nonsense is in Parinda also, okay?
No, there is two reasons why I like Mission Impossible 2. ठीक है? Two reasons. Two
One
reasons
is the
alone.
hair.
Tom Cruise का वो
Yes.
धूम वाला hair.
Ranveer,
Tom
you
Cruise
you
looks
just put a
extremely
Ranveer
Ranveer
Singh
Singh
and
mask on.
Ladies are...
Yeah. You put the mask and you like, oh, it's the same person.
He says
He
also,
looks very
बच
hot
के
in
जरा,
long
बच
hair.
के जरा. बेईमानियां मेरी.
Oh, ladies.
Oh, ladies.
And the second reason is it's extremely campy. And as the scholar of camp, quote unquote, here, I really enjoyed it.
Farah
It's
Khan
two reasons,
scholar,
two reasons alone.
Chris,
No, but
everyone.
in case of Mission Impossible 1, I am going to be embarrassed to admit it. I only saw Mission Impossible 1 for the very first time, I think 3 years ago.
Chi, 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 chi,
in,
chi.
in its entirety.
Wow.
I watched it as my
Yo.
prep for Fallout 7 years ago.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
the first time probably that I have watched a
Man,
movie
what-
before Amartya has. This and Ae Watan Mere Watan. Two
Yeah.
movies I've watched.
Sir, I don't
What's
think
like,
you
wow.
should be happy about this.
Yeah. That's not something to be proud of. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like Mission Impossible is okay, but Ae Watan Mere Watan.
But
Yeah,
have you
Watan
seen
Mere
Watan
Watan.
Mere
Yeah,
Watan?
What a
Mere Watan?
movie.
Some
Drew's
movie.
favorite.
That's a movie, all right.
I haven't
But
even
you know,
seen it.
to-
I just
to-
saw the trailer. Really, I was just cringed by the
So
trailer.
you've seen
That's
the
all.
movie?
I can't say much about the movie. Yeah.
I know.
You've seen
I
it?
think I watched 40 minutes and I was like, "Mera ye khatam hoga ya main?"
And you know, I can't do this. I can't finish a film. I can't leave a film halfway. I've only done that twice. A movie called Guns Akimbo, in which Daniel Radcliffe gets pistols.
I love
and
that
got into his
movie.
hand.
That movie is
God, are you kidding me? How
hilarious.
did you leave it? The
I
ending was
got
actually good.
annoyed. It was okay.
Oh.
Maybe it was pandemic fatigue. I was watching it in July of 2020 or something.
Okay,
Maybe
wow,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
depression.
that might have.
The other movie was Amartya will probably kill me for this. Dhruv will definitely kill me for this. Andrew Dominic's Blonde, which I couldn't.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
would I
don't
kill
blame
you for
I
this?
don't
I
blame you
don't
at
like
all.
that
Who would
movie.
kill you for it?
You guys like
I don't
Dominic
like that
though.
movie at
I
all.
don't like Dominic.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
movie's trash.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you are doing to Marilyn Monroe what was already done to her in life. Stop it.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit trauma.
It was
not
exploitation.
Haneke-like.
It was exploitation to the T.
But yeah, so I can't.
Someone actually said it is a lot like Haneke, and it is not. That's an insult to Haneke.
You said Haneke now.
guys, I
now
love
Dhruv
this
has woken
discussion.
up with Oye.
Yeah. I love
You know, Dhruv and Sanjeet sound similar because, like, as you may have heard, dear listener, the couple that stays together become one person, or for too long. It's why there is.
Also, can we get back to Mission
Yeah.
Impossible?
No, so
Because
I was saying this. Why for me? It's because it's my after Rogue Nation. I would say it's my favorite film in the series. Why for me it still holds that places because it functions as a thriller.
Yeah.
I'm
100%
not.
agree.
I'm not into the whole action adventure space.
It is
as
a
much
true
as-
espionage thriller. It's a true
Yeah, yeah.
espionage thriller. Yeah.
And I think the closest the thing is people always say this that you don't need suspense in such movies. I feel you do. For me, like Paramount's marketing.
Those people are difficult people.
But Dhruv also lives in a cave, right? So he doesn't know anything about marketing. And he's not being assaulted by it on a day-to-day basis. Like the thing with what ruined Fallout for me when I first watched it was them telling everybody that Cavill is the villain. Like just start out with Cavill is the sidekick. New sidekick laya humne. We have new sidekick. We are going to do spoilers for Mission Impossible.
More than that, they made him the Dave Bautista and gave
Yes,
him the
yes,
Dave
yes.
Bautista role.
He's
And
the
then-
Rock.
And then, yeah, they gave him a brain the size of Stegosaur, and then they
They gave him
or-
Alec Baldwin's brain.
Ouch!
They gave him Alec Baldwin's brain, basically.
What did
Like
he
his-
shoot someone like?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
Sorry. Okay. No. He just
Wow,
reloaded his arms. That's all he did.
That,
Wow.
that
Shoot his
is
arms.
something. That is something.
sorry.
Wow, Dhruv, you
Sorry.
really will need.
Sorry, man. It's a traumatic thing to talk about.
This is what rusted old people like Hemant
Oh
often do.
my God.
Varun, you're
God,
doing. You're
I
making
just-
it worse.
I work.
You're
Please, I work in aluminium. We don't rust. We
Yeah.
oxidize.
You work there, you are not them. Anyway,
I am not
so-
made out of aluminium.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's correct.
So what's interesting to me is that it's very random. It's like, what is this? We are looking for a knock list. How does he find Max? He does a fucking internet search.
Internet access. He started from
Max.com.
Max.com.
yeah.
He was-
Netscape Navigator. He went on there. Simon Pegg came actually off
Every
screen.
time-
He came, connected his modem, his DSL.
every time I remember that scene, I'm like, oh God, the
You know-
internet.
Yeah, because
Yeah, dude. What is the
But-
sound?
but-
Also, that is never ever how a screen comes up. By the way, line by line is how it used to come up. Yes.
Yes, but not
you
like
never
this.
had images come
Yes,
up
yes,
ever. You
not like
clicked on
this.
things.
Hemant
images,
is the Telugu version of Cinema Sins.
I'm coming up with IT issues.
Cinema Sins Garu.
That server was not working that way.
But to me,
Cinema Sins God.
Cinema Sins Garu. Yeah. So to me, the naivety of Cruz's character works well with the actual internet, right? Think about it. When the internet first came about, non-tech people. Chris, you're a non-tech person, right? In terms of education.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. So with no computer class, of course, because computer क्या होता है? So,
It is a lab where you take your socks off.
you take your shoes off. I never
Shoes
took my
off and
fucking socks
stink.
off. All right.
Okay.
So
No, because it
साला
stinks.
computer lab है
Why
या
you
मंदिर
never
है?
got you never got
Computer lab है
embarrassed
या
by the
मंदिर
holes in
है?
your socks?
yeah, no, I didn't have holes in my socks.
Oh man.
Hemant. I darned my
computer
Computer
socks.
lab है या मंदिर है?
No. So
Shoes open करके कौन घुसता है?
Amartya probably knew growing up what a computer is because his dad was a doctor, so his dad obviously knew stuff. So
Yes.
we didn't grow up with that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, यही होता है internet. इस पे कुछ भी search करो मिल जाएगा. It's like K3G, right? How does Rohan find Rahul? Findafriend.com.
And Karan Johar's course it is such an emotional music. I'm like, ये क्या चुतियाप्पा है?
Findafriend.com. He sounds like a lonely person from 2022. So Cruz's character's whole thing, or Ethan's whole thing, is very naive but very understandable in that sense. Like, and his whole epiphany of whose job? Oh, it's Job. Okay.
Yes.
And he finds, like, Job in the Bible, and it's all very campy, but it's all very self-aware.
Yeah.
I think
No, it's all very much like reintroducing the entire concept of the TV show itself to newer audience, but
yeah,
at a faster pace.
At a faster
yeah.
pace and without needing that context.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, they had a form. It's very formulaic. Like the first two episodes, even I actually saw that only, by the way. When you guys are mentioning that there is the 2 episode on YouTube, or the premiere of the show, both of them had the same beginning. They just like got into a room, got the recording. If you choose to accept it, and then that.
Do you remember? Like, do you realize how much time it took to make that mask? I'm like, it is taking 24 freaking hours. साला कोई mission खत्म नहीं होगा ऐसा करके
But
तो.
I felt like that was very very realistic. I felt like I liked the way they used tech in the first Mission Impossible way more, because
Way
it
more,
was
yeah.
a lot more tactile, and it became less and less tactile, more and more Iron Man turning from nanoparticle shit.
Also, by the way, to
eventually,
all
and it
these
became-
people who are watching the MCU movies and everything, nanotechnology, we have no idea how it is going to happen, but it is definitely not going to happen like that.
yeah, okay, yeah, that for sure. Yeah, also robots, by the way. Anyone who is believing that robots should be humanoids, no, they shouldn't.
No, they should not.
Please forget
One
about
of them
it.
is in the White House's Oval Office with that Mango Mussolini character all day. So it's already quite dangerous.
Mango Mussolini, wow.
He's also called Dorito Don. Have you heard that one?
Oh, wow,
Oh god. Oh god.
flaming hot all the time. So
Flaming orange.
I think
Flaming orange, yeah.
But I think the way I mean, like you mentioned, his naivety towards the internet and how he had, I think he's more of like someone who's from the older times of like.
Yeah, you're
agents
not
or field
necessarily.
agents.
Everybody is not given the same level of basic training, right? It's
Right,
that kind
and
of-
also over that, like there was a hierarchy that everyone, like he's just a
Yeah.
soldier.
Yeah,
and that
he's a foot soldier,
The
yeah.
peeling of the layers, the reveal that you feel in MI, at least the first part, is that the bureaucracy that he's under and what he's
Yeah.
having to answer to is made very clear, and it gives you a sort of a B story that you can always know that there's going to be tension in that.
Yeah.
That the A story can get a little bit of support whenever there's things are like you're waiting on a mask to be made.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason why it worked for, at least I even feel like in the second one there was a lot of that bureaucracy B story that gave it that push from like a support for the
thing
B
about-
story.
The thing about that entire, like, how do I put this, the bureaucracy angle, like the enmity with Kittredge and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Henry Zerny, by the way, who is playing the role of Kittredge. He's very good in it, like
Yeah.
very campy good in this. So
So good he never got recasted. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So from
He got
that,
promoted. He becomes director of CIA.
he becomes director. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his story, really, actually.
Yeah,
He's
basically.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
He,
And what
it's
I
a
really,
prestige where two people.
Which is,
can-
I mean, which is
Yeah,
also
sorry.
like somebody's predicted ending of the final reckoning is that Ethan finally becomes the secretary, and like a new Ethan Hunt kind of character comes in, and now
Yeah, could be entirely possible, and
like,
that is Glenn Powell.
yeah, no, but only for a
Yeah.
cameo.
Wow.
And in Mission Impossible 9, shit happens that forces the secretary to go back to being field agent. And like, dude, this is some weird
of course, yeah.
bureaucracy that you
Of
are.
course, you need a maverick. You need a maverick to have that one send off to the character eventually, right? So that,
Nay, Mission Impossible 9 will be basically Tom Cruise's version of Air Force One. President will have to kill people.
oh yeah.
He's already doing that though with this one. Angela Bassett is playing POTUS in the
Yeah,
final
yeah, yeah.
one, right?
No,
Yeah,
but the
no
thing
one.
about this, no, but the thing about this is that that entire bureaucratic angle and everything, it's almost like, again, I say the Hitchcock thing all the time with regards to De Palma. I think the first two Mission Impossible movies are heavily Hitchcock influenced. Like, The Man on the Run. We laugh that Tom Cruise is the one continuously running.
Yeah.
It's essentially a Man on the Run template, which was popularized by Hitchcock through the 39 steps. And, so, which is essentially what is
yeah.
happening in each and every movie.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible 1's final set piece is on a train, where political where identities are exchanged and confused and resolved, similarly to The Lady Vanishes
Okay.
in the 1938 Hitchcock movie, which also stars Michael Redgrave, whose
Vanessa
daughter
Redgrave's
Vanessa,
dad. Yeah.
whose daughter Vanessa Redgrave is Max, the smuggler in
The arms
Mission
dealer.
Impossible
You
1.
sure
The
something?
arms dealer. Yeah, sorry. Arms dealer. Sorry.
That's, I had no idea about that. That's very good.
Michael Redgrave is excellent in a movie called The Dam Busters as well. By the way.
Yes. I remember the Dam Busters because of the name of the dog.
You were there when the dam was burst, no?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
He built
You
the
were
dam.
indentured laborer in
Yeah.
Germany.
I built the dam. और कितना बुढ़ापा
He's an
कराओगे?
otter. Amartya the otter. Sorry. Okay, yes.
What?
Let's
Beavers build dams, Hemant, not otters.
Oh, what? Oh, damn it. Man, cut that out.
नार्निया नहीं देखा क्या लाइफ में?
I've only given misinformation today. There is only.
Also, see, I am trying to make things serious, and then Hemant comes
just
and
keep-
drops his bombs out of.
I know it's not even intentional. It's just dumbness. Yes. So I feel like if you bring up the connection of like just the film history that has informed that first movie, I think it was very clear that he wanted to make a caper that
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Not even a caper,
That was entertaining.
just a thriller. A caper.
Just
would
a
slightly
very
be lighter.
bombastic,
It's not-
campy thriller.
The one thing it isn't is light. It's not like funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got its moments, but like the newer films are most certainly like working towards being got you there. Simon Pegg
Yeah.
is
Lot
your
of
funny
quips.
character.
Yeah.
Sean Harris literally calls him
They-
funny guy.
Yeah, they try to even make Rebecca Ferguson funny, which is not working with the character that they wrote.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
dude, Ving Rhames occasionally coming up with a quip. I'm like, will somebody stop quipping in this movie? Like one person.
Anyway, Ving
it
Rhames is
works.
anyway funny.
Right, in the first movie, I really felt like the supporting actors. We can look at the supporting characters, right? Like in like we mentioned at the start of the or before recording was that like a point Varun had made was that how many like supporting characters are
It's
added
a
throughout
it's
the
a
movie.
stacked cast, right?
It's a stacked cast. Yeah.
And
100%.
it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the movies. And
It's the same concept. It's the same concept with James Gunn, David Ayer, and the entire concept of Suicide Squad literally is introduce a massive cast and then kill
I mean,
80% of
they
them
didn't
off.
Well, like the Dirty Bunch didn't come
Dirty
out.
Dozen, it's not the Dirty Bunch.
Dozen. Oh my god! I'm legit. Have you seen that meme of the
Brain
new
is
girl
braining
cast?
for Hemant today.
Yeah, really. Like, have you seen Jake Johnson and the other guy? They're giving an interview where they're like,
Are you
they're
sure
like,
that is
okay,
his
go.
name? That
Okay,
sounds
go.
like a made up name. Jake Johnson.
Nee, Jake
No,
Johnson
no,
is a
Jake
real
Johnson
girl.
is the name of the guy. He's right
Yeah,
about
he's a
that.
new girl. Yeah, and there's an interview where they're announcing that, hey, if you guys are on mainstream, like, no, that's in Nashville. We're in Memphis. Is what the TV anchor keeps correcting them. It's like, and they can't get even one thing right. It's like at 9 p.m. Sorry, we are in CST, so it's 8
Also,
p.m.
doesn't
Okay.
doesn't this movie have like a computer mainframe nonsense thing going on as well
Oh
at
yeah.
some point?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Which I was
the
reminded of
first.
yesterday during Jewel Thief.
Oh
But
God, that
Sir,
movie.
कि मेन फ्रेम में
Sir.
घुसने के लिए
I have I have
साले तू
I have
फोटो फ्रेम में घुसने के लायक नहीं है, विंडो फ्रेम में घुसने के लायक नहीं है, मेन फ्रेम में घुसेगा.
सर उसको फोटो फ्रेम में लगा के माला चढ़ाने का बस काम कर.
God.
Queen is truly dead. Queen
Truly
is crisp.
burnt.
No, but that
Another great movie.
yeah, another great movie. Yeah.
So no, the point was that like all this once the stat cast has become, or the
Yeah,
dirty
yeah.
dirty doesn't, that kind of like eclectic group of characters who have come together, have tensions within each other, and are trying to come up or have a like follow that one leader. It comes down to Tom Cruise always to get people together, like almost
Yeah.
like a producer. So
But Mission
he,
Impossible
My
1
God.
where he is the lead, ostensibly, right?
Yeah,
Which is
very.
yeah.
which was one of the criticisms the show ka main cast had, and even the faithfuls of the TV show had, ki the entire movie is based around Ethan Hunt. And I'm
But,
like, yeah,
but
in hindsight, that's what's working at this point.
it's also still very much a team effort. Like in the other film,
Yes, yeah,
he
exactly.
has
Yeah,
a team.
100%.
फिट टीम को गोली मारो, मैं करूंगा.
Yeah.
क्योंकि ये काम सिर्फ भाग कर हो सकता है. भागो.
Yes.
I mean, this works.
Listen,
really
nobody
well
can
for-
run like Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. Have
Akshay
you tried
Kumar,
running?
dude. Akshay Kumar. Have you seen Akshay Kumar running? He goes like that. It's
नहीं सर
I
मुझे
like
नहीं
that-
देखना भी
I
नहीं
love-
है.
okay, you know, the angle of his head, the angle of attack of his nose actually is how funny the movie is. If it's a comedy, it's
I
up.
hope
if it's down, it's a serious movie.
we want to tell Aarti if she's listening that please अपने मर्द को प्लीज संभालिए आप. ये किन किन चीजों के बारे में क्या क्या नोटिस कर रहा है दूसरे लोगों के बारे में.
Well, if you
Hemant,
notice
your
Bhagat
attention
Bhagat-
needs to be on one person, dude. Don't screw this up. Come on. Hemant is getting like divorced because he's noticing shit about Tom Cruise and Akshay Kumar, man. Like,
Well, first off, if you know anything about being married, you should notice.
I
things
don't,
about
right?
everything.
I am not.
Okay, yes. You should.
I
just
want to be
notice it and
married,
shut the
but
fuck
I am
up. That's-
waiting.
That's
You know
the
the
point.
other person.
just
You know
don't
the
go
other
around
person who
for
doesn't know anything
nitpicking
about
someone.
being married.
You.
You know the other person who doesn't know anything about being married. Tom
Cruise.
Oh yes.
Yes.
No, I think he knows a lot about being married. What he could advise Hemant on if Hemant is not careful is about being divorced.
I have seen White Shut. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
I know what leads to a divorce.
Tom Cruise.
Also, Ice
Tom-
White Shirt is going to be heavily important for the next movie, which we have to discuss. By the way,
Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Cruise gives a whole new meaning to the term triple talaq.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. That's why he shot Ghost Protocol in Dubai. Oh man, what do we do?
You were worried about escalation on India-Pakistan border. You just didn't see it coming from Queen is dead.
Yeah. Oh man, it's the no. It's the line. We'll all survive on the line city. The one line. No, that's Saudi Arabia. Again, misinformation. Sorry.
Sir, Dubai is up, not.
Yeah.
Hemant is basically becoming like his dad's childhood friend Vivek Ranjan Agnihotra.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
exactly.
God. Whoa, please. Sorry, Rajan.
Oh God.
Chocolate देख कर आओ Hemant.
Oh, yeah, another Bryan Singer.
Another
And
Christopher
the Bryan
McQuarrie
Singer
script.
movie,
no.
yes.
The usual suspects.
Can we go back to Mission Impossible,
yes.
please?
I mean, I think the third movie is where he kind of reconciles his whole like marriage thing, right? Like,
Not
Yeah,
in
yeah,
life though. That was when he was getting into the second marriage. Third marriage.
This is
Sorry.
Third marriage, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman had gotten saved. It was Katie Holmes' time to get screwed.
But
God.
with regards to with regards to like the first movie overall is what the fuck happened here?
Fallout.
He went God mode.
Fallout. Nuclear
Bruce
fallout.
I
Almighty.
thought nuclear
Fallout.
explosion हो चुका है.
nuclear
Ethan forgot to save us. Nuclear explosion हो चुका है.
Varun's camera just discovered the sun.
Yes.
I hate these fucking Western switches where there is one switch for all the lights. What is this efficiency? It's not efficiency, it's fucking confusion.
No, it's laziness.
Yeah, Westerners are lazy only.
Again, I'm not denying that.
Man. Okay.
As can be evidenced by my French visa problems. Anyway, let's go.
Anyway, so I think, do we have anything else to talk about Mission Impossible besides the set piece, besides the main set piece of the CIA bunker?
I mean, there's 3 set pieces, right? There's the tank exploding, which I think is a great sequence.
Oh, it's in
Yes.
I think just framing it and shooting it in the way that they did is crazy. There's of course the CIA sequence which gets copied in the hero love story of a spy starring Sunny
And Pathan.
Anil Sharma.
And Pathan.
शाहरुख कहाँ डैंगल करता है उस पिक्चर में?
वो करता है ना?
करता है ना?
कब?
अरे montage है, but करता है.
अच्छा, during that Russia heist.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember that. See, it's so unmemorable. It's not hero love story of a spy. Anyway.
There's the person who just rewatched Pathan. Sure.
ध्रुव की आत्मा आ गई आप में. वो portion नहीं देखा मैंने. I focused on the songs, which are fun.
वो तो YouTube पे देख लेते सर. पिक्चर रिवॉच करने की
पिक्चर चालू करने की क्या जरूरत था?
That's why picture shuru. That's why he calls it. He says shuru करो मैं सुन रहा हूँ.
That's how he says.
हाँ, पॉडकास्ट का नाम पिक्चर खत्म नहीं है ना, पिक्चर शुरू है. खत्म कब होता है तो किसी को नहीं पता.
पॉडकास्ट ही खत्म नहीं होता if Sanjeev remembers it right. By the end, he was just incomprehensible. And he was like, dude, I've been at this for 4.5 hours. What the fuck? How dare you call me incomprehensible after making me talk for so long? So, anyway, and I think the third set piece is aboard the London-Paris train.
Yeah, the TGV, right? That's
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
name of
something.
the train.
I mean, it's not called that anymore. It's called Eurostar, I think.
Yeah, of
Why
course.
does it sound again so shady? Like, why can't
Yes!
Eurostar क्या होता है? E.
Eurostar sounds...
And it goes
Eurostar sounds like
it goes into a tunnel.
Sci-fi airline.
Yes.
It goes into a tunnel also. Which is under the English Channel.
Yeah, also the fact that in this one movie, there is literally a scene in which a train is dragging a helicopter.
Right? Like,
Yeah, and
we believe it. Like,
And you believe
we
it,
are
yeah.
not willing to believe that John Abraham 2 helicopter को बांध सकता है.
I was just
ये ट्रेन खींचेगी इस हेलीकॉप्टर को. Why is the train being used like a tow truck?
But we believe it. But
we do. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the film just embraces it and it doesn't address it. Films
Yeah, it
try to
doesn't
be
address
too
it. That is the bigger
tongue-in-cheek
important
about
thing.
this
Yeah.
shit. They're like,
I mean, that's what,
know.
like...
It's unbelievable.
No, I think the camp of the film works really well because it's that deliberate camp, right?
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
sense that... but it's also not in that extremely annoying, cheeky, self-aware, that self-referential kind of way. It's like, I'm making something campy and I'm committing to the point where I'm not even going to acknowledge that it's campy. I'm just going to make it. And that is the only reason that it works so well.
Right.
Yeah. Of course.
So
anything else we need to talk
I
about?
think we are done.
We are done with MI1. We have beat that
On to my-
horse.
We have wrung the well dry, even though you can't actually.
No,
wring
we
wells.
have wrung the well dry and we are searching for
but-
new wells now at this point.
He was in my well. I shot him. This is Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes.
Maybe we'll find that well in Saudi Arabia anyway.
Oh man.
Hemant's favorite.
Don't tell
Next
US.
we go to the most Bollywood version of Mission Impossible.
To
Which
the
I love.
most thakela movie of the franchise, which is John.
It's
Thakela.
not Thakela.
It's not Thakela, it's quite funny.
I
It should be
actually
called
really
Mission
like,
Very Very Possible Part 2.
Identity confirmed.
Good morning, Mr. Hunt. Sorry I barged in on your vacation.
I mean, okay, yeah, the villain was a kind of not.
Dougray Scott, come on. Like, I like the guy. He's a decent actor and whatnot.
Yeah.
He
नहीं
also,
सर उसका accent बहुत खराब है.
I
Goyal
only remember
accent
the
is so
but that's
horrendous.
yeah,
but he's
it
British,
was
right?
so
That's
bad.
supposed to be like a Scottish accent, isn't it?
No, but it's so inconsistent. Like it changes in every single scene.
Yeah.
I was rewatching Mission Impossible 2 today and I realized that I cannot stand the quote unquote romantic segments and all those, you know.
Okay,
I-
so
like,
I've
the
got
thing is,
Chris, go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
I've got
in
a
that
theory
that
about
is
this.
one of the reasons why I also love that film. It's the only one with serious homoerotic tension between Ambrose and Stamp. So I'm like, kuch to, that is the romance I'm invested in. I don't care.
That's actually a good point. No, to
Man.
me, it's the film. So 2 and 3 are both films that are now trying to play catch up with Bond, and 2 is playing catch up with Pierce Brosnan's Bond. 3 is playing catch up with Matt Damon.
I hate to break your bubble here just for a minute because and this is me being the biggest Bond fan. Okay. I don't think they are going to play catch up to any Bond film in this scenario.
Not in the way that you're expecting me to present the argument. In the way that this is the like you look at how what's her name, Naya, and why is the idea of like this whole exoticization of women is just
Yeah, this is very much a Tomorrow Never Dies too. This is very much a Tomorrow Never Dies version or a Die Another Day version of Mission Impossible. This is very...
like why are you playing this game of let me find the most unusual name like Ethan
Naya
Hunt.
Nordoff Hall. I'm like
Ethan Hunt. It's
चाहते क्या हो? I
name.
so read the name. I'm like चाहते क्या हो?
The only name that is more direct than Ethan Hunt is Tom Cruise, and they are the same person. So it
Tom
doesn't
is
matter.
cruising. Tom
Yeah,
is basically cruising.
So, to me, the issue was that it's their meet cute is very similar to Famke Janssen's and Pierce Brosnan's in GoldenEye. Even though that is not a meet cute, I know that.
That is not a meet cute. That is meet kill. That is meet kill.
Yeah. That's just meat and she's the killer.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and she's fantastic.
And we can also spell meat in a very different way. But
would definitely get killed by Famke Janssen quite happily.
Yes.
In Golden.
All of us
in the GoldenEye style, though.
All of us would. Yes.
Hemant, be very careful of what you say.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. And honestly, I was also weirded out by that. Honestly,
were you?
Yeah,
no, I think she's a perfectly fun character, but I think that's what the films are trying to do. They're trying to bring in this romantic interest. In the De Palma movie, the romantic interest is such a passing thing. She's there, you know. In fact, you're an adult.
Well, she's a femme fatale in
she is. I had forgotten about that twist in the
also
first part.
Also there is also a fact that again the Hitchcock angle I'm bringing into this. This is Notorious.
I mean, ruin Notorious. I'm not going to watch it anyway.
Hemant has seen Notorious. His brain is not working for a second.
Yeah, interesting.
He's about to confuse it for North by
for another movie. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, not that Notorious.
That one, Cary Grant running like this crop duster in the background.
No, that's not. Wait, come on.
Yeah.
That's Strangers on a Train.
No, that's worse.
If I can't every
No.
Okay. I get why you're calling it Notorious, but why do you think that the like love interest here was not given enough things to do? I think Tandy Newton had enough.
The love interest here was given too much things to do, and my problem is none of it is interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. She was
the mission briefing never says Miss Love Interest. This is your mission. Should you choose to accept?
But that is exactly her point. She was hired because she has to be the one.
Yeah, but then she becomes. That's the thing, right? The film doesn't know exactly what it's playing at. Is she the damsel in distress?
Because the original screenplay of John Woo was supposed to be 3.5 hours long, and the studio said
he's apparently clarified that it's not 3.5 hours long. He recently did this clarification bit, which is that it wasn't that. But even then, I'm like, Robert Towne writing a screenplay that has such a gaping hole in it in terms of just internal logic is baffling. Like, the script writing bit is what Anthony Hopkins describes as mission difficult.
I don't think I can get her to do it.
You mean it'll be difficult?
Very.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
Right? The movie is supposed to be impossible. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Cruise hanging around in Utah, mountain se latak raha hai, which has a great callback in Fallout towards the end.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was the best part about
No,
the
but the
movie.
problem here, no, but the thing about here is, पहली बात तो the
Hemant just
globetrotting
called
is
the 5
restricted
second.
to.
Ek second. Hemant just called the 5-second bit of Fallout the best part in the film. He has.
No, wait, no, I meant from
Oh, you
MI2.
meant okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Also the
Fallout
fact,
has a lot
wait,
going for
एक
it,
second,
actually.
एक second. How is it the best part? दो bike explode करता है and those two guys
Come on.
basically
Those two guys
Bikes are not
jump off
interesting.
the bike and hug each other.
collide
Hug each
RRR.
other
RRR.
and then go circling.
What is this Ajgar or Baz ki
Cirque du
dosti? What
Soleil.
the fuck?
Yes.
Am I expecting MM Cream music in the background suddenly, you know?
Oscar winner MM Cream.
Hey,
Oscar winner name.
See, all respect to Keeravani. He's a fantastic music composer. He should have given the music for this.
Yes.
Not Zimmer with his electro nonsense. Yeah,
This was
Tom
actually by the
Cruise
way,
and
this was
Tom
my,
Cruise and Dougray Scott doing Natu Natu. Great.
Great.
Would pay.
I saw this movie before Gladiator. So actually, this was my first Hans Zimmer movie. Like I'd never actually heard his soundtracks ever. Yeah, I was like,
have
I
no
actually
clue
love the
what my
soundtrack of
first
this movie.
Hans Zimmer movie is.
This soundtrack is the most forgettable shit ever. The only reason I remember the soundtrack to this movie is because of Limp Bizkit, and that is even worse thing to say.
I mean, Hans Zimmer has had moments of forget. People think like, you know, it's the same thing
he's
with
just so
Rahman. People are
ubiquitous.
like, oh, great music. But have you heard some of Rahman's music? He wrote Panti too.
Whoa, man. I don't think it was. him.
No, some of his high-profile stuff has also been terrible. The Ardjividam ka score is one
Which
chore
one?
to sit through. The Goat Life, that Prithviraj.
Goat
movie.
Life,
okay.
yeah.
Aduji,
Yeah.
You said it so
One more.
fast, no?
Sir,
I've not hung
Chhawa
out
ka
with
score
Malayalis
suna
in a
hai.
while. So I
Chhawa
was
ka
like,
score suna hai.
RGV1, what movie is this?
Yeah, that's what even I was wondering. RGV ki Aag ka there is a prequel.
So,
छावा का
Yeah,
स्कोर
so-
सुना है रहमान का worst score ever.
मेरे को कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है सर ये हिस्टोरिकल रिविजनिज्म देखने में.
Anyway, speaking about score, because it is a sequel, it is essentially doubling down, right? So now the hanging from the rope is basically now from one top of the building and he has to be, dropped down.
Yeah.
Vents नीचे हो रहा है, he has to be dropped
बंद हो
down
रहा
through that and all that shit. I'm like, okay.
It's also, I don't know, it's just a fairly dull plot. Like,
It's a stupid plot.
It's-
एक
It's a
वायरस है और उसका एंटीवायरस है.
bio weapons
वायरस को
कितनी
घुसा के
बार?
20
It's just
घंटे में 20
wait, this
घंटे
is
तक
the
infect
plot of
करो.
No Time to Die.
Yes.
This is-
Yeah,
Yes.
which is
This is
also
done again, like-
very
Yes.
forgettable Hans Zimmer score.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
yeah.
The
didn't
plot
have
is
much
very
going on for
stupid.
it. Really.
The plot is very stupid, and also because this is John Woo is taking all the emotional beats so fucking seriously.
Seriously, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing, it's also
And I'm
mainly
like,
just
I'm
because
like,
of
John
his-
Woo, I love you. I'm like, John Woo, I love you, but this is not the killer. You can dial down the goddamn emotion, please.
And
I mean,
sorry, Hemant, go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, I think the whole vibe they were going for with Mission Impossible 1 and 2 was that give those directors their day in the
It's their
sun
canvas. It's
to
their canvas.
to imprint their style onto this action, because there's a lot of action movies that can be made by just like regular people which won't be that interesting, but when you give it to a director with a specific vision,
Oh, I
these
agree.
guys especially these guys have a specific vision, and
Because
they
if
try
you
to push
compare-
that style onto it.
Yeah, because if you compare Mission Impossible 2 का Ethan Hunt और फिर बाकी movies का Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 2 is essentially a Superman whose guns का bullets never run out. ठीक
You know,
है?
I find it fascinating that
एक गाड़ी के पीछे 8 bullets bomb
No,
करते
first
हैं.
off, every single pistol is automatic.
Yes.
That's what blew my mind in this movie was that like, my God, they can be automatic. Who
Every
knew?
single pistol, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what's interesting to me is that they went to John Woo with this, because okay, you went with De Palma in the first one. I'm not saying Woo is a bad director or anything. I'm just saying I don't like Mission Impossible 2. That's
Well, okay. That seems like I don't have any specific reasons. I'm just descriptive
all
about
fans
it.
of hard boiled are now listening to Varun. That includes me
Yes.
with
I
dagger eyes.
yeah, that
So,
that
no,
movie
I'm
made
I'm
me MI2 made me want to watch more John Woo, and that
I'm
was the first movie I
thinking more
watched was
of,
Hard Boiled. Yeah,
Hard boiled is a masterpiece. I am
beautiful
not
movie.
even kidding.
to
Yeah.
me, the two most definitive action films in Hollywood. Because let's face facts, the Mission Impossible movies are proper Hollywood productions. So John
Yes,
Woo
yes.
is a left of center choice. I would have thought like a Jan de Bont or an Andrew Davis would have been a more seamless fit. After something like Speed.
Who is the export, right?
Yeah.
The export basically. He this is the 90s.
And
He
this is
just did Hard Target.
pre-tariffs. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. This is the 90s. This is the 90s. He just did Hard Target. He just did Hard Target and Broken
We are
Arrow.
not letting Mr. Laundry's presence go unnoticed. We are making sure to make all the political jokes in his absence.
Yes.
The government can ascribe all my political opinions on this episode to Mr. Aryan Vyas
Aryan made me say it.
of Baroda.
Yes, Aryan made me say it basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Aryan Vyas, sorry, of Baroda.
Actually, I was gonna suggest John McTiernan. That
him
would
too.
have been a
But
very good
wasn't
fit
he in
for
jail?
this.
No, he went to
I
jail
think
later.
so.
Already?
No,
Yeah.
he went to jail
Well,
later. Went to jail later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Maybe this
no,
is the
I
tapping time. This is when he was living the life.
Oliver
of-
Stone was
he didn't-
supposed to be directed to do this movie. Oliver Stone was supposed to be attached to do
But
this movie,
that's
but
like the
because
great
Cruise
what
was stuck
if.
in Eyes Wide Shut,
Yeah.
that fucking movie. So
Wow.
Somewhere Dhruv has again woken up. कि Stanley को किसने गाली दी?
nay,
Stanley
Eyes Wide
को
Shut तो he
Eyes
doesn't
Wide
like.
Shut, he will also, yeah.
He also
doesn't
doesn't like
like.
it. Yeah.
So
Only
he
I
will
like
wake
it
up and
for
he's
some
like, oh,
reason.
somebody give
I
gun to
also
Eyes Wide
like it.
Shut.
Hemant.
Yeah.
It's-
Fuck yeah.
Any
Stupid as
creep-
fuck movie.
Any
But anyway,
creepy
yeah.
movie a non-creepy guy like Hemant has to like.
Well,
No,
I
because
have.
Cruise was stuck doing Eyes Wide Shut for a very long time. Oliver Stone was supposed to be attached, and then Oliver Stone left because he was like, "मैं इतना देर wait नहीं कर सकता."
I mean, that was also Fincher with part 3, right? Like, I'm not waiting around for you people. You people keep changing your mind.
Yeah,
and
basically.
like, why Jeremy Renner didn't want to do movies with the circus after a point, because he is like, you people have no fixed script. तुम लोग बार बार उठ के बुला लेते हो कि चल अब पहाड़ से कूदना है, अखरोट तोड़ना है, पोलर बेयर के साथ रेसलिंग करनी है.
अखरोट तोड़ना है.
इतना टेंशन में स्नो प्लाव गिर गया मेरे पैर के ऊपर.
अरे in our building, this is damn funny. A 38-year-old man or something dropped a vacuum cleaner on his foot.
God, dude.
I was like, इतना बेवकूफ कोई कैसे हो सकता है 38 कि तुमने पूरा का पूरा वैक्यूम क्लीनर गिरा दिया अपने ऊपर. But मतलब, I mean, I suppose if Dhruv ever used a vacuum cleaner or ever had to use a vacuum cleaner, he would also break his foot.
I'm just going
Is it
to
because
say
of the
this.
cave? Because the cave doesn't need to wear.
I'm just going to say this. वायरस का नाम है काइमेरा, एंटीवायरस का नाम है बेलरोफॉन. I'm sorry. मतलब चाहते क्या हो?
Bellerophon was in yesterday's movie, Cris?
No.
No, there's something similar. Something similar, no? वो plant.
What is it?
Belladonna.
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 I'm like, just something similar to
No, but
Madonna.
like the thing is, every criticism you're making of the film is the
Is
reason
something
why
you
I
like
like
it. Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. But now,
The plot
I think that's your place to go
The
off.
plot
Yeah.
is really not the point.
The
Yeah,
plot is stupid. I don't have to pay attention. Good for me. I can stare at Tom Cruise longer.
See, the
Entertainment
only
value.
reason why I
100.
still
See,
like
these
Mission Impossible
children
2.
who like
Yeah.
Scientologists, no? There is something fundamentally wrong with these people.
Nee,
Sir, it's not about Scientology. I'm saying Tom Cruise being peak male beauty is not my problem.
He's
okay?
5'2". He's a midget.
I like short men. I don't like tall men.
Interesting.
I like short men. I like old men. That is
We are
fine.
already out of the picture in that
You know,
scenario.
your
Chalo,
peak,
theek hai.
your peak short men, old men. Amit Shah is what you want.
No, Micha.
Or JP Nadda.
He's wow. Both look like Big Ribs.
Yes.
Whitewashing wing rims.
Also, can I say Ving Rhames is damn funny in this movie, Mission
Oh, yeah.
Impossible 2.
And the
What is
Australian
on
guy
with that
is not.
Australian guy?
He is so
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
Also,
I've
मुझे
been,
समझ में नहीं आता है.
Chris
Andy
mentioned the
Newton and
bromance.
Tom Cruise have no chemistry whatsoever. What was John
yeah.
Woo
yeah.
even thinking?
Yeah. I
He
don't know
wasn't.
about
कोई
that one, yeah.
chemistry नहीं है.
Tom Cruise was thinking. That's how she
Yeah.
came to be in the film. You think the director decides who's the actress opposite Tom Cruise? At some point, Tom Cruise got bored of Rebecca Ferguson, so he's like, "हाँ, who do I like right now? Haley Atwell, चलो उसको बुलाओ."
अरे ठीक है, बट मेरा प्रॉब्लम है कि स्टोरी तो
Yeah.
कोई लिख रहा है. जॉन वू तो स्टोरी लिख रहा है. जॉन वू को कैसे
रॉबर्ट टाउन
समझ में
स्टोरी
आए?
लिख रहा है ना.
But still,
Well, he's a producer, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants,
So
including
I
John
mean,
Woo if
like
he wants.
I think other annoying part was that they cut the whole story between Ambrose and what's his face, Roxburgh, whatever, the guy who plays James Moriarty in League of Extraordinary
in
Gentlemen.
League of Extraordinary,
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
Yeah.
Wow.
Their bromance gets cut short because I feel like
Yeah.
they
सर
had
वो
like this
ब्रोमांस
tension
नहीं है,
going
वो
on.
क्रिस का सेलिंग पॉइंट है ऑफ द एंटायर मूवी.
I thought it was going to be like what Saruman Sauron type, like general main guy, but it didn't. They didn't give it enough time. So and that was the reason why it just like they cut it short by just killing off Roxburgh and then went
Also,
to this guy.
but I really liked how he was killed. He was given the mask
yeah.
again. Love
Oh
that.
yeah, love it.
yeah.
Yeah, and also
think
his
that's the
reveal
best
with the
mask
the
related
fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
fire in अरे that is classic.
but
John
I
Woo.
feel like- I
fire
feel
दिख
like-
रहा है, फिर उससे dove दिख रहा है.
So
dove के ऊपर fire है.
because I've just watched Fallout, I'm thinking of it, and they're like, oh, who can look more like Lane between Benji and Luther, and Luther just gestures to his face and his physique and everything. I'm like, wait, how the fuck does Tom Cruise pass up for all these tall dudes then? So we've just received notification that Hemant has
That
accepted
in
a
5
mission from his boss.
Yes, from the IMF, the
From the
I am
secretary.
motherfucker.
I am motherfucker. I don't think you know how
I am
motherfucker is
motherfucker.
spelled. Yeah, I am motherfucker, not I am
I.
motherfucker. It's just a bad day, Hemant, for you.
I know, man.
You are really living up to your tag on the window.
Sati Bagareddy, what is the rest of
Vangareddy?
it? Yeah, that's what
It's
my
not
name is,
Ranga
yeah.
Reddy district. It's Reddy Vanga.
Oh well, yeah.
Ranga Reddy,
I'm
Vanga Reddy.
legit. I'm legit. I've got my brain is gone right now. I think I need food.
Ladies
That's
and
the whole
gentlemen,
problem.
this is what mental degeneration looks like.
Yes, you slowly lose your mind. It's
good.
not like
Ladies and
Amor.
gentlemen, this is what happens when you watch a John Woo movie where a virus is named Chimera and the antivirus is named Bellerophon. This is what happens.
Amartya is making
No,
sure
no.
to repeat that
I will-
joke
I
just
will-
so we
I
laugh
will-
once. Ek baar
I will,
सोचना
yes,
पड़ेगा.
I will say only one thing.
Yeah.
All we are looking for is the rabbit's foot.
5,
You have a wife, girlfriend?
4, 3,
Whoever she is, I'm gonna find her.
2,
I'm gonna hurt her.
1.
And then I'm gonna kill you right in front of her.
Oh, lovely. Hemant's given
Great
us a
segue.
Great
Great
segue.
segue.
Great segue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look for it and eat it.
Yes.
All right. Fun guys.
Ouch.
Disturbing
I
thought.
think we shouldn't be thinking about this.
Because I'm thinking of it in relation to Philip Seymour Hoffman. So now I think Hemant's about to eat him.
Eat him off? What?
Eat.
You
No, suck him off hota hai, sir. Eat him.
Yeah.
No. Shut. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
all right. I just have to say with regards to Mission Impossible 3, मुझे एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है.
आप शुरू करो सर
बोलो
अपना मोनोलॉग.
कोई मोनोलॉग नहीं है, मेरे बस एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. Defibrillator cannot shut your brain off. That is not how it works. That is really not how it works.
Do they
I
use
am
it to
sorry.
shut the brain off or switch the brain
No,
on?
they use it to fry the thing, no?
They use it to fry the brain off. Brain fry नहीं होता.
Brain
आप
nahi
हाथ में
sir.
जब-
Chips, sir, wo.
The charge.
चार्ज को फ्राई करना है.
अरे सर ब्रेन के सामने अगर चिप हो डिफिब्रिलेटर को यू हैव टू यूज इन नियर द हेड टू डू दैट.
सर वो बहन का टका शंघाई में बंजी जंपिंग कर रहा है सर, क्या बात कर रहे हो आप?
अरे हार्ट के सामने कोई जंप चार्ज नहीं करता है टू फ्राई समथिंग नियर द ब्रेन. कंडक्ट नहीं होगा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी.
वो झूला झूल रहा है 100 माले की बिल्डिंग के सामने एक रस्सी के साथ सिर्फ
डिफिब्रिलेटर की पड़ी है.
उसके पास बैटमैन का वो केप भी नहीं है, you know?
नहीं मुझे पड़ी है because they use it thrice in the movie.
And
they don't use it once in the movie, they use it twice in the.
That's what I'm saying. They use it so many times in the movie. I'm like, अरे फिर तो रिसर्च करो ना भाई, थोड़ा रिसर्च करो, इतना यूज कर रहे हो.
रिसर्च क्या होता है? No, your expectations are sky high for something like.
नहीं sir, मेरा expectation for basic medical research is always sky high. थोड़ा चाहिए.
You know, this is something that definitely Dhruv will criticize. Like later, he'll come and quibble on some random live stream without watching Sinners and say कि आपने ऐसे बातचीत करी and क्या चाहिए accuracy, क्यों चाहिए realism, except the camp, and then जाके हैनेकी की picture देख. But
J.J. Abrams can't shoot real action to save his life.
To me, it's the most unremarkable film of the franchise. I dislike 2. I like 3 actually, but it is very. It's like I'm like, तू क्या पॉल ग्रीनग्रास को सेडेटिव देकर शूट किया है पिक्चर?
Yes.
Oversaturated to the point of infinity.
Sir, he's a TV show director doing his first feature film. It looks like a goddamn TV show.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a mid-2000s TV show.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I think it's the one where I like it, like it's enjoyable to a certain extent while watching, but when I think about it afterwards, I'm like, that was a bit of a waste of my time.
I
that
like
is
the
like
script.
not
No, I like that. This is the one time I like the script of a Mission Impossible movie more than the actual direction of a Mission Impossible movie. This is the one.
Who wrote this one? I'm not sure of it.
मुझे भी देखना पड़ेगा, but it must be one of the J.J. Abrams का dudes only.
Very typical, detailed, thorough Queen is Dead research. We know everything about this movie.
नहीं sir, see, we might not research this much, लेकिन हमें medical research बहुत अच्छे से पता है.
Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orci, and
Sir, वही ना, these are J.J. Abrams का dude. Alex Kurtzman wrote this. Jesus fucking Christ, he destroyed Star Trek. Mother चोद मारो उसको. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
We are all.
अरे इसलिए तो डिफिब्रिलेटर का कोई काम नहीं है. एलेक्स कर्ट्जमैन ने लिखा है ना, इसलिए तो उसको तो कुछ पता भी नहीं है, चूतिया है. Anyway, doesn't matter.
He wrote the last Mummy also, which almost like.
Sir, Alex Kurtzman is the biggest hack of the decade, biggest hack ever. ठीक है.
The producer on Now You See Me, which is a shit film, really. Okay.
He's a producer on a lot of shit. He produced Star Trek Discovery. He produced the worst film of this year also, Star Trek Section 31. तो उसको गाली मारो.
Oh, that one.
He's written Transformers. My respect for him does not exist.
कौन सा Transformers? The first one?
The first one.
First one is good.
And the second one also, Revenge of
the
Fallen
the second one is trash.
So,
also I like Now You See Me, so.
Of course you do.
No, rest in peace, Roberto Orci. He passed away 2 months ago.
Okay.
He's the better writer of the two of them, to be very honest. And these guys also wrote the 2009 Star Trek, which starred Chris Pine and also directed by J.J. Abrams, which is actually a legitimately good.
He wrote The Legend of Zorro with the guys I think who wrote Pirates of the Caribbean. Orci wrote that one.
So to again
going back to Mission, I think the calling card of this film is really Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I like it, but he's not my favorite villain.
No.
He's like my favorite villain. I'm going to get lambasted for saying this. Is Sean Harris. He is the most potent.
He's the most visible.
He's also the one with like a plan. Like he's got an agenda.
A personality?
Yeah, no, he's got an agenda. I'm like,
yes.
Okay, so John Voight in the first film just wanted money. So he was just plain greedy.
I mean, that's a very legitimate excuse.
Yeah, it's a good excuse, right? The dude in the second movie just wanted shit in a bad
Dude
accent.
in the second movie just wanted to fuck, not to fall. I'm sorry.
That was his villainous agenda. He wanted to get back together with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and he also wanted to be Tom Cruise, but he could not be
I'm
Tom
pretty
Cruise, so he
certain.
was mad.
I'm pretty certain Dhruv likes this movie. It's about jilted lovers and stuff. No, उसको उतने दिल है, मुश्किल भी पसंद है. तो
बॉलीवुड है ना, मिशन इम्पॉसिबल 2 फुल बॉलीवुड है ना.
एकदम धूम की याद आ गई मेरे को. You know, any moment I was expecting like
धूम मचा ले.
धूम मचा ले, and Abhishek Bachchan chasing behind. Because Tom Cruise is as competent as Jay Dikshit in this movie, right? So, but no, with part 3, I was like, first of all, why the fuck is this camera shaking so much? But thank you for at least having stable frames and not shaking the camera like, chalo, let us do, whatever, what's that martial art from South India? I've forgotten. Fuck, this tells you how long it's been since I lived in Madras.
I understood which one.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
So anyway, why does the camera operator have to do Krav Maga for lack of
Krav Maga? Yes. No, this is the Bourne effect. This is
yeah,
the Bourne
it is.
effect.
That's what I'm saying, right? Everybody is like, oh, green grass nahi kar liya, abhi main chepega isko.
Yeah.
But like, do it properly. It works in the Bourne film because Bourne is an amnesiac. He's got like issues and shit. I mean, anybody who's going and living in Goa to calm down has got issues, right?
Yep.
He lives in a shack on the beach. He is literally the Russian mafia, except he's American. Anyway, so
sir, that is better than being chased around by assassins in the first movie.
Or better than meeting like people from Rohit Shetty's universe.
Yes.
In Goa. What a crossover! J.J. Abrams meets Rohit Shetty in Mission Impossible.
No, actually, one of the Golmaal films was shot in my college in Goa.
Sir.
Yuck.
क्या बोले?
What college did you go to? What was this?
Great, incredible college. Like, unironically incredible college, but the Golmaal was not there.
That's why you think IIT Delhi will improve your life. Because your standard is like some Ganjedi shack in Goa.
No, but...
Now it'll be something like, it'll be called Don Bosco or Bondosco or something. So people will like, you are hurting religious sentiment.
The one thing I did like about Mission Impossible 3, there is a legitimate office in the IMF and there are office band.
I love Lawrence Fishburne. He is so good in this movie.
Yes.
He is so good. I thoroughly enjoyed how exasperated he is with Ethan Hunt.
Yes.
Like,
I also like Billy Crudup. I also like
He's the guy who double crosses.
Yeah, Musgrave. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, their names are interchangeable, honestly.
Yeah.
Musgrave,
Billy Crudup,
whatever. So
again,
I loved Maggie Q's thing of blowing up the car.
Yes.
Like I think.
I agree with her. Lamborghini Gallardo is a really good car.
It was when you were playing Need for Speed Most
Need
Wanted.
for Speed.
Yes.
It's not anymore. It's been 19
no,
years.
I've actually seen one with my own eyes. It's a really good car.
Where
in Kolkata.
My God.
In Kolkata. Yeah.
In the showroom.
No.
सड़क पे तो कोई चलाने
in the front
देगा
of a mall. In the front of a mall. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
No. I believe you, but I'm like सड़क पे तो कोई चला नहीं सकता ना कोलकाता में.
हाँ चलाता है रात को 1 बजे.
हाँ रात को स्ट्राइक कोई नहीं करता ना.
हाँ वही ना. वही ना.
हड़ताल बंद करो. So
सर और बंगालीज को मत गाली दो. कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
यही होता है जब ज्योति बसु को इलेक्ट करते 40 साल.
I will have to disavow both of you. मेरे से ये हैंडल नहीं होगा.
एक बंगाली दूसरा मलयाली. I am stuck with communists today.
Yeah.
So what I really enjoy, like how it sort of sets up how the team building exercise will work in like Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Rogue Nation.
Yep.
But this whole MacGuffin bullshit, no.
अरे that is the Abrams staple ना. इसलिए तो गुस्सा आता है. It's a गुस्सा आता है.
Like don't do this. Like don't fucking do this. Like go back to
He started doing this with Lost. He did it in this. He fucking did this in Force Awakens.
So the initial
did this in Force Awakens.
Logline I think was the that it's supposed to be a film about black market body parts trade or whatever, like organs trade, organ trafficking. which was when Fincher was attached. I'm like, of course Fincher is attached to organ trafficking movie.
Ha.
The
And
director
of
of
course,
Seven.
Tom Cruise was like, I'm sorry, but this is way too dark.
Pagal hai kya? So and then they do this whole thing, which is okay, still fine. I'm like, okay, what does Davian do? Do I really care? No. Hoffman's a great actor and he sort of rides it through. But he's not a compelling enough opponent in terms of his physicality. Like, the action sequences are between the two of them, the last bit essentially, is notably very, very dull.
Sir, I hate to break the bubble. कोई भी action scene memorable नहीं है in this movie.
I do like the Jhula Jhulna around Shanghai.
Sir, I don't like that because that is so evidently shot in green screen for a majority of that sequence. That and it is shaking. Like green screen also shaking.
The only scene I remembered from that film, like having watched it multiple times on TV, was just Tom Cruise running because it's Tom Cruise running.
No, the scene I remember the most is the slit in Maggie Q's dress as she gets out of the Gallardo.
Yes.
Because they go so hard on that. I'm like, you don't need to be James
That
Bond. There is already James Bond.
That is peak 2000s. That is peak 2000s Tarak.
Yeah, but my thing is, why do you need every actress's function in a film like this to be show skin?
Which is why Michelle Monaghan is still good.
She's such a good actress.
She's such a good actress.
She's so good.
She's such a good actress. She made Tom Cruise have emotion in this movie.
Yeah. She's so good in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is Shane Black's film.
Yep.
Val Kilmer playing a gay PI and Robert Downey Jr. playing some sort of wastrel.
Yeah.
Scoundrel, basically. I mean, he was basically playing himself at that point in life. So to me, right, and this is the problem. We are now playing catch up to this in India. So Deepika Padukone's primary function in a bloody movie like Pathan is first show skin. Do you have skin? Prove it.
You that's why what I want. It's that dialogue Jeremy Renner says at the end of the turbine sequence in Ghost Protocol, which is next time I'm seducing the Indian guy. The rich guy. I'm like, I want that. Give me that.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise. It's like the one memorable bit from a otherwise very, very shit film called A Gentleman by Rajan DK is Harsh Malhotra having to seduce an Indian bureaucrat who is a guy.
Oh, really? I've not seen.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Yeah.
It's a shit
I just
film.
know the songs. I've not seen.
It's a very bad film.
It's a terrible movie. You're not missing out. It's like two very, very good pieces of furniture are there.
Smashed.
And like Hussain Dalal, Rajit Kapoor, Supriya Pilgaonkar, Sunil Shetty, Darshan Kumar are all acting, Amit Mistry are all acting circles around these guys. Because these two are like, मुझे तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है क्या चल रहा है दुनिया में.
क्या चल रहा है?
कैसी लकड़ी हूँ मैं?
Are you talking about Nadania, sir?
No.
This is pre-Nadania, but even Nadania, like, this is pre-Nadania.
I mean, they've got Sunil Shetty in common.
The people in Nadania look AI generated. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
Like, even AI is unoriginal. Anyway.
No, but with regards to Mission Impossible, like, best parts about Mission Impossible is the fact that the window it gives us into Ethan Hunt as a human being. Which
I mean, that's my least favorite part about the movies, but go on.
No, I understand, but that is the one time.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, you don't mean the franchise, you mean part 3 itself.
Part 3, yeah. This is the one time.
That's actually, that's pretty fair. Alright.
Yeah, because everywhere else, that window is closed.
Yeah.
And with deliberate reason. He's as much a part of the plot as much as he's an engine of the plot. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else within it. Which, again, I'm not complaining, mind you. Because to counter that, they put Tom Cruise and Ethan Hunt through the ringer to such an extent with stunts and everything else that you are automatically getting emotionally attached to him because you are seeing him fly off a motorcycle. So it's like, क्या ही बोले इसके बारे में? इसके बाद कौन character development देगा? हो ही तो रहा है और क्या चाहिए? But this is the one time where this shit actually feels like somebody wrote a screenplay about a character.
Yeah. I think my issue is that not then with this film, but it's all too sudden. Right, you're saying I'm not saying give me a flashback. I'm not. It's just that.
Which they do also, right?
No,
In the
don't give me a
middle.
flashback in that you're not necessarily giving me a big flashback with Monahan and Cruz's character. I'm like, okay, but the relationship doesn't have a feel to it. It doesn't have. It's just established like, okay, we are getting married and
Which I think is because also like how the movies are structured, right? Each
they
movie is
need they need
essentially
like
yeah
mini movies within one movie kind of.
within one
Yeah, but
movie.
the
Yeah.
thing is, they are such
They are not a
like at least
saga,
Monahan.
right? They are not a saga. They did not become. They were again, like you were saying, they were catching up with James Bond. So these are basically like those standalone James Bond movies. They become the quote unquote saga.
For your eyes only.
Octopussy for your eyes only. Yes.
What is that one with Matt Zorin?
Matt Zorin is View to a Kill.
View to Kill.
No, with Monaghan's character, because
Yeah.
she's such a fantastic actor, you still feel something.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Which,
And
and
Cruz-
especially if you compare it to two.
And Cruise is also really good.
Incredible in
For
that.
all the flack he gets for like running around, he's a damn good dramatic actor. Very, very solid dramatic actor.
Yeah. Which
So
is why
that is, I think, what makes, I think, for me, the film, like the reason I like the film to a certain extent is because it has got a certain emotional core to it, which again, that opening sequence is, I love it. Like, with that you essentially see Tom Cruise's character go through like the 5 stages of grief in 10 seconds, which is, it is damn emotional and it's impactful, but the rest of the film is so forgettable. You're like, why would you put these two things together?
Except I really liked Scientologist Tom Cruise playing Vatican priest.
Yes.
It was
Which
very
I'm
fun.
not, if I'm not mistaken, he wanted to be a priest once upon a time. Tom
Then
Cruise.
why the fuck did he become a Scientologist?
मुझे क्या पता सर.
आदमी का इंटरनल लॉजिक में कोई कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है, मतलब वहीं से प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो रहा है.
Which is why I think in the rest of the movies, what they actually do cleverly is they structure the supporting cast around him to such an extent that his character essentially reacts to their emotional turmoil and everything else.
Right.
Which gives off the impression that there is something resembling character arcs within the movie, when there actually isn't, kind of, but still exists. Dead Reckoning feels the one time where they have to force it. And Final Reckoning also feels like something that they will have to resolve it.
I mean, they've like too many characters as well, right? They want to resolve everything. I'm like, why do you need to bring back Rolf Saxon from part 1?
Yeah.
Why does he need to come back from Alaska? Like, there's no
That knife.
that knife.
Yeah.
And he's got like a full character poster and everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
calm down, Nobody's expecting. This is not Harry Potter.
Sir, it's a 2 hours and 49 minutes movie. I'm
2
pretty
hours
sure
and
this is going to be
51 minutes.
Spectre. Yeah, this is going to be Spectre level.
सर
ठीक
प्लीज
है.
मैं और 10 दिन में वहां जाकर खड़ा होने वाला हूँ कि प्रीमियर का टिकट कोई दे दो सर, दे दो. टॉमी भैया के साथ फोटो खिंचवाएंगे हम अगर मिल गया तो.
अरे वाह.
उसको तो बड़ा पसंद है ना. He loves to interact with people. As much as a crackpot as he is, he thrives on the attention he gets from fans. And apparently he's like a great interviewer and stuff is what I'd heard like around me.
टॉमी सी को बोलना, अगर चांस मिले टॉमी सी को बोलना QID को सुनने के लिए, ठीक है.
वो पहले बोलेगा what are all these Hindi words you keep using? फिर Amartya will send him a glossary.
Yes.
What it means.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think do you guys have like a favorite stunt from the first 3 films? By favorite stunt, favorite mask sequence, favorite.
Sir, मेरा तो MI2 में है.
Which one?
पहला तो वो बाइक का सीक्वेंस है.
Like they hug. Very homely.
That is what.
Mid-air hugging.
No. I think what is really cool about this bike sequence is every time he has to shoot someone, he has to move the bike, skid the bike up, pull the gun out, and then he has to shoot 8 bullets. Yeah.
And
There is a
fantastic sequence.
There's a fantastic sequence. Douglas Scott's character is chasing him, right? He looks at the mirror. He blind shoots to the mirror and he hits the windshield of that bike. I'm like, that is cool. Whatever you say, that is effing cool.
Bad shot, but like got
shot,
the job done. Type.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, I think for me, it's that first scene with Kittredge in MI1. I just think it is
bursting of the tank.
the bursting of the tank. I just think it's It's also Tom Cruise. It's like a great that sort of building of that tension in that
Yeah,
scene
yeah,
between
yeah.
them and pointing
It's
all
what
of
De
that out.
Palma thrives on as a director as well,
Yes, yes.
building up like tension.
Yeah.
And mine is also from part one, which is the funnily enough, given how it's not aged well in the visual effects department, the helicopter bit.
Yeah.
Like it feels palpable. There's like actual momentum, there's bite to it. Like you said, right? The thing is, they say we do all these movies for real, for real, for real. The amount of effort like the visual effects departments put into these films today is insane. It's genuinely crazy. Like Fallout has some 2000 VFX shots. So what if it's mostly wire work and reflection removal?
Dead Reckoning, that entire train sequence.
Yeah.
If you see the behind the scenes
Oh,
shoot, there are
God.
so many visual effect shots in there.
Yeah, and then you're turning around and saying I'm doing John Frankenheimer's The Train. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, please, let's not.
Nobody is
If
doing
anybody
John
has seen John
Frankenheimer's
Frankenheimer's The Train, those explosions are real.
Not just the explosions, like explosions you can still do and it's relatively low yield and money is there and stuff. You're bashing trains into one
You're bashing
another.
trains. Yup.
Like real
Chris, if
bloody
you haven't
trains.
seen that movie,
It's great. Burt Lancaster and what's his name? Paul. I forgot.
who are we talking about?
The actor who plays the German officer, who's interested in protecting the art.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a film.
Even I've forgotten.
Yeah, I was about to say Wolfgang Price, but like.
No, that's not him. That's not him. No.
But no.
Anyway,
I
stuff.
genuinely, for me, among the first three, at least my favorite is the first Mission Impossible. It's among my favorites anyway.
First three out of the first three, first one also my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are in unanimity, unusually for Queen.
Like first one is favorite in terms of like overall quality. In terms of like अंदर खुद का दिल का बात part 2.
Part 2 same.
नहीं मेरा वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मेरा दिल का भी बात सेम
part 2 is so like cool and yet so stupid. I'm like
I don't know.
Part 2 is like proper naive camp stuff, which is like तुम बना क्या रहे हो भाई? तुम्हें भी कोई idea है?
Like the intern on that movie was probably better, suited to making the movie.
There is another cool shot in part 2 in which Tom Cruise runs through one of the corners wearing that monkey cap thing and then shoots somebody while a dove is flying over him and I'm like, John Woo को क्या
For a second I forgot about the monkey cap. I was like, वो भद्र लोग कब बना picture में?
Yeah.
पाड़ा में बैठ के भाग रहा है. Like Tom Cruise running through like one of the Indian cities would be like, I would love to see like Mission Impossible.
The best thing is the Shanghai running, which is again one of the best sequences of Mission Impossible 3 is him talking with Benji while he's searching.
Yeah.
Like
while he's searching.
That long shot that Hemant put in the promo clip.
Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's also the one moment where the camera is probably on a dolly.
Yes. One time when the camera is fixed, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this looks very different.
It's like that day the camera guys were like, sir, we bought you a new piece of equipment. What is that? New rig for Steadicam? No, sir. This is called a track. What?
एक बार try करते हैं.
Let's do it just this one time. Wow.
J.J. Abrams sees that. Abrams sees that and tells, I will use this in Star Trek.
I don't know, Chris, how acquainted are you with Star Trek?
I've seen, I think most of the Chris Pine films. That's all.
There are three of them.
पता चल रहा है.
There are three of them.
Short man पसंद है Chris Pine वाली सारी पिक्चरें देख रखी हैं. पता चल रहा है.
There are three of them. Most
I've
of
seen
them
at least two. Most of them.
Liberal Malayali and Gal Gadot have the same taste.
Shut up. I will take anything, but I will not take getting compared to Gal Gadot.
I mean, to be fair, she's worse as the evil queen in Snow White also. क्या ही बोले?
Which is something she should have been like ideally placed to play.
Sir, my interest in Chris Pine comes from Princess Diaries too, okay?
Yes.
Not Star Trek.
You're talking to a person who doesn't know there was a Princess Diaries too.
How do you not know that? Even I know
Yeah,
that.
that is.
I know only that did it ever air on Z Cafe?
Yes.
Probably yes.
Yes,
Probably
it
in the
did.
evening. I used to watch Z Cafe in the afternoon.
No, it premiered in the afternoon also.
मेरे स्कूल के बाद तो नहीं चलता था सर. But yeah, that's us calling time from Hemant, Cris, Amartya, and myself, Varun. That's us done on
This
the
is
first
the
three Mission
most
Impossible
chaotic
films.
Mission Impossible. This is the most
This
chaotic
is the most
episode
chaotic
ever.
mission. This is the most chaotic mission. And
Chaotic mission,
we
and we
wish,
haven't even gotten
Our
into
Mission
the Christopher
Impossible was
McQuarrie
to
ones. We haven't even
was
gotten into
supposed
the
to try to
McQuarrie
make
ones.
this episode sane was our Mission Impossible. हमसे नहीं हुआ.
हमसे
Yes.
नहीं हुआ. It's,
And like I
now,
tried my best.
it's
I
now
can
it's
definitely
now
say
over
that.
to Secretary Dhruv to
Yes.
salvage what he can.
Best of luck, sir.
I don't want to wish him best of luck. I just want to smile.
like Hemant was on another
Hemant
plane.
was like Hemant had celebrated 420 on the 20th of April today. But yeah, that's that, and see you in a couple of weeks' time for Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout. Khatam.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.